just pop-up storms.
Yeah.
Yeah, I I feel bad for those people on bikes.
Yeah, I got wet yesterday.
Well, when we were coming in, somebody was on a motorcycle behind us and in the downpour. It's like, I tried to be nice. I took a corner fast so that he didn't have to slow down quite so much. And then he turned behind us anyway. Couldn't see his blinker through the rain. But we need the rain. So that's a good thing. I mean, probably a little steadier would be a little nicer.
I have not heard one farmer complain.
Okay, good enough.
Not one.
So, but we're happy for the rain because we definitely need it. So, we're glad you're joining us this evening. Once again, we're doing this new prayer service where we're doing a little bit of a podcast. I'll go through some announcements here, and we'll do things a little differently at the end. But so for our announcements, we have our pop-up this Saturday. If you are available, we have I shouldn't say it that way.
A whole bunch.
A whole bunch of food coming. We've got extra food coming. So if you could help out this Saturday, we're planning on having extra tables up because we know we're going to have more food than normal this Saturday. So if you could help out on Saturday, that would be great. I thought, I got to watch those words I use, People have certain expectations of pastors. If they only knew the truth.
He's a good guy. He's a really good guy.
Yeah.
Crazy, but good guy.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
You almost have to do this type of role. So
it helps.
It does help. So on June 21st is Father's Day. We'd love to see you in church. I mean, we'd love to see you in church any Sunday, but we have a superhero theme. And I've been challenged to get out of my box, and let's just say I'll be dressed differently than I've ever been dressed before for church.
Okay.
So, but you have to come if you want to see it. So, but in regards to that, we also have dad jokes. We have a place, if you don't like doing it online, we have a place in the auditorium sanctuary under Pastor Dave's picture where you could come and fill something out. You could also go to the website and the app.
The app, I'm not sure it's on the website.
Okay. So the app, and you could submit it on the app as well for your favorite dad jokes. And so please do that. Those will be looked at by our youth, I believe is what you said.
Yeah, the kids are going to choose. And yes, send those in because I love dad jokes. And so I've been enjoying those as they roll in.
I've been told that I can't see them for some reason.
That's a shame.
That I've been cut off. I'll find a way. Actually, I did find them earlier.
You're snooping.
I did. I snooped. I found some, but I don't have access to the video one.
Yeah, I do.
So I'm sure eventually I'll get to see it. So
that's right.
We have Young at Heart on June 27th. It will be at Los Zarapes in Mahomet at 4:00. But you do need to RSVP, so we have numbers. What's the cutoff for that?
Usually a couple days before.
Okay, so at least within 2 days before. So we
25th, I think I put on
25th,
there.
okay. Yep. So 25th, if you're interested in doing that. If you're not praying for this, shame on you. That's all I'm going to say. Vacation Bible School. You should be praying for that if you're not already. July 20th, 24th. There's a sign up online if you could help out with it. But we covet your prayers. 70 to 80 youth, typically. Mm-hmm. I think that's right?
Yeah, 80-ish.
80-ish youth.
Yeah.
And, it's the best time to teach them about Jesus. Hopefully have them accept Jesus if they haven't already, but grow them in their relationship. And it's a great community ministry that we have here. And maybe I shouldn't have said shame on you, but I do encourage and covet your prayers for that, because if nothing else, for this volunteers, that's a lot of kids.
It is a lot of kids. But it's exciting this year because we have some new people stepping up in new roles, and it's fun to see, to envision them, because it's like, oh, they're going to be great in that role. And, it's always a moving target with making things happen for VBS.
Absolutely.
It's exciting, some of the changes this year. I'm looking forward to that.
I am too, because they haven't told me what I'm doing yet. But the community Easter egg hunt, that we just had,
Yep.
I was shocked by one of our church members that stepped up and did that. It's like,
Yep.
I would have never seen that coming. And so it's always impressive to see people that some of the skills and talents that God has given them that you don't see on the day to day. And I believe you're, I don't want to say targeting, but going to try to recruit him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We'll leave his name out of the thing for now. But of course, we hope you join us this Sunday. You don't have to wait till Father's Day. We do have a breakfast at 8:30, and service time is at 9. And once again, just as a reminder of the change to our prayer service, we'll have some dialogue back and forth. And then after we're done, you will get a scroll of the prayer list. And we encourage you, because we'll go offline there to pray for who's here. But you'll have that the prayer list. Is it 2 times this?
It rolls 2 times through.
It rolls 2 times through, and we just encourage you to pray over that, because those are some of the prayer needs that our church has, or in the larger community. Not all of them belong to our church, but they're got some connection to our church. At least I think some of them do. Some of them I've never figured out.
Yep.
So, with that said, we're doing the Father's Day theme this week. Susie's not quite a father.
Nope.
But she has a father.
I do.
And you know, our God is, he tells us he's our Heavenly Father. And so, Susie, first we'll just start off. How's your father impacted you in your relationship with God? And in particular, not just your relationship with God, but just in your idea of prayer and having a relationship with him.
Well, when I was young, my dad was not saved when I was a kid. And he has an interesting story, because he had gone to some church meeting with my mom before I even remember. I mean, I was very young. And he went to a church meeting, and they talked about the plan of salvation. And my dad said, "I'm not ready to deal with that yet." He was very straightforward, and but very clear, right? But, you know, so over the years, then my mom prayed for him, and he just would occasionally come to church. Well, then about the time I was a teenager, he started coming more and more, and he accepted Christ. And I mean, he is an amazing man of God now. And, you know, I know that when I ask my dad to pray, that he does. And I know I don't have to ask my dad to pray, because he knows the power of prayer.
You know, that's awesome. And I have to admit, I'm a little shocked. I didn't know that about your dad, because I just sometimes we make assumptions.
Yeah.
But how did that impact you in particular? So you were a teenager when you came to Christ.
Yep.
Was there any different effect because of the fact of, well, maybe I should ask, did you accept Christ before he did?
I did. I was in grade school when I accepted Christ. And so it was a good learning for me that everybody has their time when they're willing to open their hearts to that. And it was.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. And maybe I should ask, because I know for some they struggle with seeing God as Father. So how?
No, though my dad didn't get saved until I was a teenager. My dad is an amazing man. So I've never struggled with, you know, God as my father, because I always had a wonderful father figure. So
and that helps.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I get with some people with their experience of their earthly father, how that can make them struggle with seeing God in that way. And it's easy to lose sight of the fact that, well, no earthly father is perfect.
Right. Right.
None of them picture God perfectly, but still,
right.
It is a hurdle for some. And but Scripture calls it Heavenly Father. So yeah. So I thought that would be interesting to do. And so maybe I should ask, because you came to Christ first. Of course, your dad was older. You were still pretty young. How'd you guys feed off each other for growing in your faith?
You know, it was interesting, though he wasn't at the same place. You know, my growth for my faith took place because my mom was the one who sat down at the kitchen table and said, you know, we're going to pray before we eat.
Okay.
right? And that kind of thing. And we were always in church. Always. If the doors were open, we were there, right?
I could relate.
Right? And so even though when I was younger, Dad, wasn't always with us, he always backed my mom up. Get up and go to church with your mom until he got to that point, right? So he supported her. And so in that back and forth with our faith, and it wasn't really a back and forth. It was that he supported what she was training us to do, and that was to go to church and be faithful and, grow in our Christian walk.
Mm-hmm. That is
So,
cool. And I will add, it's a good example of marriage. Spouses supporting each other, even if they're not completely doing it, but still supporting and not being at odds with one another.
right.
Right. But we're not on marriage tonight, so we won't get into that because I recognize that. So I don't have any other questions unless there's something else you would like to add.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I'll encourage you. So we'll go off the air here, but I'll encourage you. You'll start to see the role for the prayer list. Just to take some time and to pray about that. And if there's other things you want to pray about, please pray about that too. At minimum, well, I shouldn't say at minimum. I hope you pray over the whole list, but do pray for what's happening here at Trinity, as we do want God to be honored and